Some may say that we shouldn't concern ourselves with the culture war issues, that we should just focus on economics about the cost of living crisis. Even though we should prioritise things like the cost of living crisis that impact the everyday person, it is also important to concern ourselves with the safety of women's only spaces, or the fact that many insecure young people feel like the only way to seek validation within themselves and with the rest of their community is to go through a sex change. I don't think that this is beneficial to society, nor do I think that it's a small issue that we can simply just gloss over, and which is why I'm glad this is being brought up as an issue with Conservative Party voters. So as you're probably aware, Penny Mordaunt, who's running to be the next party leader, a video came out of her saying that trans women are women.
Trans men are men, trans women are women.
So obviously the idea that trans women are women doesn't make any sense, because a woman is an adult human female, of course. And to be a trans woman, that means you're born male, so you cannot be an adult human female. Because logic. And luckily Mordaunt realised that she can't run with the line that denies biological reality and puts women at risk. And she was questioned about this during the Tory leadership debate, and when she tried to make it sound like she was for women's rights, biological women's rights, Kemi Badenoch and Liz Truss put her in her place.
But they are not biological women. I don't believe that we should be on an equal footing in sport, and raised that issue 4 years ago.
But my understanding was that the previous minister who had done the role had wanted a self-ID. And that was something that I reversed with Liz.
That's not correct, and this will all be on record in government.
It is on record.
So Mordaunt said that she was never in favour of self-ID, which is just so obviously incorrect. As the Telegraph says here, the legislation announced under Theresa May sought to bring the right for trans people to self-identify as male or female without a medical diagnosis. Miss Mordaunt told Pink News, an LGBTQ+ publication, that the then current Trans Act doesn't work and needs radical improvement, and the reforms that Penny Mordaunt did put forward were scrapped in 2020 by Liz Truss, who said the plans for self-ID would not be brought forward because she felt the original legislation struck the right balance, which I'd argue is quite debatable, because the current Gender Recognition Act does bring a lot of issues towards the safety of biological women. And this article by The Times explains on July 15th, 2019, a senior civil servant wrote to Mordaunt and other senior figures to the Government Equalities Office to summarise the current position in transgender policy ahead of a potential package that Mordaunt had requested to announce 3 days later. And the document went on to state that it was very helpful to clarify in the recent weeks several elements of how you would like to reform the Gender Recognition Act. Turning to the issue of self-identification, the note continued, a large element of the campaign for reform had been about demedicalising the process of transitioning. A senior official who worked in the government at the time said removing the requirement for a gender dysphoria diagnosis was demedicalising the process, and suggested the sound mind test was not a proper safeguard at all. It basically is self-ID. Do we really want a leader who doesn't stick to their values? I'd respect it, even though I disagree with her a lot more, if she still stuck to the phrase trans women are women, which she was so proud to display in the Commons when it was convenient for her. But now she has to face accountability. She's not backing those claims up. Stick to your principles, Penny Mordaunt. Do you believe trans women are women or not? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Do you think Penny Mordaunt should be the next party leader? Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe. Goodbye.